Sometimes shadow work, the word shadow work, can feel or seem scary. And I mean, to be honest and fair, shadow work is not for the weak. Just being honest. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Divine Healing with Love channel. Thank you to all of the new subscribers. Welcome, welcome. I'm so happy and grateful you are here with me. I am Nicole. This is the Divine Healing with Love channel. Thank you so much for being here. We talk about spirituality. I pick a cards. If you're into tarot and oracle, you want the healing guidance. And I also have these videos where I teach and I share my wisdom and share my experiences. So thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to talk about shadow work. And like I said in the intro, shadow work is not for the weak. It's really not. Shadow work can seem scary and intimidating, but honestly, it's profound work that is so necessary for moving your journey forward and growing spiritually and really unraveling your soul and your soul's presence on earth. So shadow work is essentially healing, a process of healing, and looking at your shadows and what you would call darkness, the dark and hidden and, the stuff that is covered that you don't want people to really know about you, or things that you may not even know about yourself. It's about integrating it, healing it, and bringing it into the light, into the truth. Having that awareness, taking accountability and responsibility, and again, integrating those shadows into the light. So with shadow work, 2020 was, I know we're in 2021 now, but 2020 was a year for me where I did massive shadow work. And, it was really looking at myself through an honest lens to really say, like, you can be like this. You do have this side of your personality that people don't know about, this side that only a few people see, that you may deem as dark. Like, for example, I could be a very nice, I am, not I can be, but I am a person of light. And I show that light, and I could be very, kind and giving and all of those things. But I do have a part of my shadow, which I have integrated. But at the time, it was a part of my shadow where I could be very, how do I want to say this? Like, I could get nasty. Just to be clear and honest, I could get nasty. Like, I can be nasty with my words, and I could cut deep with my words. I have a side of me, again, I'm integrating, doing the work, doing the healing work, but I have a side, like if a button is pushed, I can cut deep with my words, and I can be very hurtful with my words. And I had to acknowledge that about myself, which was difficult to do. It was difficult to look at myself in certain situations and really see the way I would react to someone pushing that button, which you may say trigger, being triggered by someone else, and the way I would react and carry myself and handle myself. It was difficult to say, wow, like, you can be nasty, or like, wow, that was hurtful. Like, what you said was hurtful. Wow, what you said was rude, or what you said was mean. And I would feel bad because I would feel like, well, this isn't a representation of myself. I don't really feel like this is me. But there comes the work. Here comes the shadow work, being honest with myself, looking at myself in the mirror and saying, hey, yeah, that is you. You can be like that. you do have that side of being like that. And, then it was time for me to break it down, dissect it, and see, okay, why do you ask myself these questions? And again, that's a part of being vulnerable with myself. But ask myself these questions: why do I react this way if I'm triggered? Why is that my first line of defense? Because really, it was me cutting deep with my words, using my mouth as a way to be hurtful to someone else. Really, that's a way of me defending, having a defense mechanism, and my way of coping with the pain. That's really what it was. This was my way of coping with or retaliating at what someone said to me. Now, this is my way of getting back and being, protecting myself. So I had to pull the layers back. And that's really what you do with shadow work. You really pull the layers back. I feel like I'm going to make multiple videos about shadow work. I'm just covering one part right now because shadow work is ongoing, as I've talked about on this channel. Healing is ongoing. It's something that doesn't stop. So with shadow work, it's different layers to it. As I've stated with many things with life, it's levels to it, as always. And so with shadow work, you have different parts of your shadow that needs to be integrated into the light. So you have to ask yourself those questions and really be honest with yourself and take accountability for your actions. Really look at yourself and say, hey, I do this, but let's figure out why. Instead of dwelling and trying to, be self-deprecating, let's figure out why you react this way. Let's figure out why you're responding in this way. So like I said, I had to pull the layers back and really dive deep. And part of it had to do with, again, feeling like this is my way of defending myself. This is my way of standing up for myself. Albeit it was hurtful to that person, but at the time, this is what I felt I had to do in order to stay in protection of myself. So now that I brought the awareness into the situation, because really awareness is key. Awareness, once you bring awareness into the situation, you can really move forward with your healing because now you know. Now you are aware. So the choice is yours to make the change and do better or stay in that place, keeping that shadow in the dark. So once I pulled the layers back, I was able to see like, okay, you're doing this because you're hurt and you feel like this is your way of defending yourself. You want to protect yourself and you're really reacting in a way of fear and survival versus love. You always want to come, act from a place of love. Come from a place of love, not fear, anger, survival mode. That's all out. Survival mode is fear. Protection. Of course, we want to protect ourselves, but we want to do it from a place of love and having those proper boundaries. So once I was able to realize that that's what this is about, and I've had similar occurrences where this is what I've always done. This is what would being nasty with my mouth help me to feel safe. So now it's time to integrate this shadow and tell myself that I can feel safe, but I can do it in a way that's not so hurtful to the other person, because it's not my intention to hurt anyone at all. It's never my intention to be hurtful. That's not me. So now, like I said, I can integrate that part and find ways to not be nasty or not have my words cut so deep and be so hurtful to another person if they trigger me. Okay. And so I had to go back and apologize, which is something that, you always, not we always, but it's something that can be difficult to do because your ego is like, you were right. Your ego is driving this whole thing. Your ego is like, you were right. You knew what you were doing. You had to do that. You had to stand up for yourself. But no, in reality, I was wrong. I should not have handled the situation the way I did by being hurtful to another person because I felt hurt. It was a trauma response. And so that's a part of, again, the shadow work, bringing in those shadow aspects, the darkness into the light. So now I have to apologize, which wasn't a problem. I apologized. I took responsibility for my actions. I owned it. But now I need to do better moving forward because now I am aware. I am aware of what I do. I am aware of that shadow. I am aware of my behavior, how I respond, how it's a trauma response. So now I have to heal it. And moving forward, I have to do better and be better. So that was my way of integrating that shadow, that darkness. Now I have brought it into the light. And it's not to say that I won't make a mistake and, have another incident where my words may cut deep. It's not to say that that won't happen again. It very well could. But now I am aware of it and I'm consciously making the effort to do better and to be better. And that's what this is all about. I want you to know that on this journey, you're going to fall down. You're going to make mistakes. It happens. We're human. This is a part of life. The lessons that we learn, the actions that we take, we learn and we grow. So these things are going to happen and no one is perfect. And spirit, God, universe, source, whatever you identify with, is not asking us to be perfect. We're continuing to work to become better, to become our greatest version, to do things from a place of love, not from fear, not from darkness. We're coming from a place of love and light and being of the light. So that's what it's about. So comment below, let me know, have you dealt with your shadow? Are you trying to integrate your shadow? And are you doing shadow work? Tell me about it. I want to talk about it with you. And like I said, I'm going to make more videos about this because this is such a heavy topic and it could be talked about in multiple ways, in multiple areas of our life. So I just covered one today and gave you one example, but I'm going to be having more examples in the future. But thank you so much for being here. If no one told you this today, I'm here to tell you I love you. I'm sending you so much love and light, peace and blessings. Thank you for being here. Please comment below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel so you can see more videos like this. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.